I've never used this before.
Hello everyone and welcome to Reggae Boys Commentary. Thank you very much for tuning in to another video on your channel. I'm Simon Preston, and as you can see over there, a very special guest, an extremely talented footballer doing amazing things over in Hungary right now. And finally, we get a chance to speak with her. Tiffy C, what's up?
I'm chilling, man. It's been a crazy year, full of ups and downs for sure. Of course, it's been really tough playing in the middle of a pandemic. My team went through quite a few injuries, and then also we suffered with some COVID as well too, like between staff and players as well too. So it was really tough, but it created a atmosphere where we had to fight even harder, and we all came together, and we were stronger, and we managed to win a championship. So I'm really happy about that, and of course Hungarian Cup as well too. We won that, so it's been an amazing season.
Yeah, and just so the viewers are aware as well, I've been trying to get a hold of Tiffany for some time. You've probably seen her on other Jamaican channels speaking to other people, but Tiffany said that, she was speaking to a handsome guy and she had to get her hair done. So it is what it is. So you got to do what you have to do. But it's a pleasure.
Sometimes good-looking guys have to wait,
It is what it is. Yeah. It's fine. Patience is something that everybody has to have. So it's okay. It's all good. But yeah, the last time we had a chance to really sit down and chat, you signed a 2-year deal in Hungary, and now, bam, one season is done. Where's the time gone?
Time has flown. Actually, I have to correct you. It's a 1 year. Now I'm trying to figure out my next step. So whether I extend my contract here or I play on another team in Hungary, like I have some options. But we all have to patiently wait just to see what the club budget is looking like and stuff. Of course, I would love to stay with Ferencváros. I think I had a great year with them. There were ups and downs for sure. Like mentally, it was tough for me at times because I wasn't able to go home, especially during the Christmas break. Because in Canada, the restrictions are crazy, like a 2-week quarantine, and now even they've added you have to stay in a hotel for 3 days. So, it's been tough for me. There have been moments where I have struggled for sure. But I think towards the end of season, when it mattered the most, I really showed up for my team. And we won our last 2 games, which helped us qualify for Champions League. And I scored a goal in each game. So that was really important for us. We'll see what happens. My time here has been great. I've improved. I think right now, physically, I am at my top in my entire career. We just did a beep test yesterday, the yo-yo, and I got 18.1, which is crazy. I've never scored that high before. Yeah, so
that's incredible.
I had a chat with my strength and conditioning coach, and I said, "Look, you're doing everything right. I really appreciate how much you put into player development, how much time you put into us, and helping us get better." So here I definitely have grown, and I'm happy I chose here.
As you know, when you're playing over in Israel a couple of years ago, you were scoring goals for fun there, like 35 goals, 28 appearances. Do you feel now that you're physically at your best, even though you're scoring goals for fun over there in Israel?
Yeah, physically I'm stronger, definitely. I think in terms of goals, like the consistency, I think this year I could have been better. I definitely created more chances for myself the second half of the season, because the first half, we were trying to see who fits where and stuff, and we had to make a change as well. Second half of season in terms of position wise. So first half of the season I was playing out wide, so I was getting a lot of crosses in, not that many goal scoring opportunities and stuff. But once we switched me to a striker and we played with it 2 up top, I found so much more on the ball. I was more dangerous. I created more chances for myself. I scored some more goals. So, I think if I was playing in that position at the beginning of the year, I definitely would have had a lot more goals. But, I can still walk away pretty happy with how I contributed. I think I ended up with 11 goals in total for the club, and I think about maybe 8 or 9 assists, which is good. So, I think for my first year, I'm happy with it. And I think second year, my stats will skyrocket for sure. Now that I'm familiarized with the league and I know what I need to improve on.
And you spoke earlier about that experience of playing in the Champions League. What was that experience, that exposure like, especially during COVID, where traveling restrictions, testing as well? So that experience for you as a whole.
That was actually really cool because it was the first time this women's team has ever played in the men's stadium. So that was a huge deal. Like our first game, I think we ended up winning 6-1. I had a goal and assist that game. And it was just a great atmosphere. It was funny though because we had like fake fans.
Yeah.
But we were still able to have some fans, but there was like a limit on how many and then the spacing as well too. So it was different, you know? That was a crazy experience. I really enjoyed it. The second Champions League match was kind of disappointing. I think mentally, a lot of us weren't there, and that sucked because we have so many talented players, and you know, I think there was a lot of pressure, and we do have young players as well too. So that could have been better for sure. I think personally, for me, I had a good performance. I had a different role actually that game, coming off the bench. Usually I do start on this club, but you know, sometimes coaches have to make different decisions, and then as players you have to go with it. So I think I was able to be impactful coming in, but it was a little too late, and we didn't show up by that game. Like everyone didn't play the greatest. So you know, I mean, there's positives and negatives based off of that Champions League experience, but it was cool.
Yeah, and to rub shoulders against the best of the best in women's football certainly is a highlight for you. So this experience definitely in Hungary so far. Have you had many opportunities to link up with Marlo Sweatman, who's also playing there as well?
Yeah, I saw her think about, well, her team played us the beginning of season. I wasn't cleared yet to play, but I was able to watch that game, so it was great, and we caught up and stuff. And I think on 2 separate occasions she came and visited me, and we explored Budapest together. Like we had some good laughs. I even have on my Instagram page. It's Marlo and I, and like just some like kind of bloopers from our experience together. I think, you know, her and I spoke about it, and we were like, you know, it would be awesome to create a YouTube channel. I think that'd be really fun. You know, if both of us are a little bit closer in terms of like city-wise, that's something that we're thinking about in the near future. But she's an awesome girl. You know, we got really close actually during my time here, so I appreciate her.
Yeah, supremely talented as well. And you're looking forward to the next chapter as well. International, this break is coming up, June, Nigeria, the United States. Looking back to linking up with the girls again?
Absolutely. I think it's going to be very competitive and a lot of fun as well too. You know, that's the one thing I've missed for sure, being in that type of atmosphere. You know, when you're playing in Europe, it's just not the same. You know, just going into camps, being surrounded by Jamaicans, and you know, it's great to be surrounded by like-minded people and compete. And there's a lot of flair in our game as well too. So I'm really looking forward to camp and growing with the girls and the staff members on and off the field, because we kind of have to play catch up now, because quite a few countries have already been training and stuff, and they've had international friendlies, and this is kind of our first one after a year and a bit. So it's going to be great. We're going to see where we're at against like the best in the world pretty much, and we're going to go from there. So I'm excited to see the new players that are coming in. I'm sure they're going to be very competitive and add value to our squad.
Yeah, and as you know as well, what more could you ask for? The African champions and the World Cup champions heading into a World Cup qualifying cycle. So you definitely have great dress rehearsals, you could say, ahead of those major assignments.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, certainly, definitely something to look forward to. Not a lot of people might know, Tiffany, but you've actually played in 2 World Cups. One under 17 level in 2008 in New Zealand, and of course one with Jamaica. So I just wanted to know your experience from the Canadian perspective, going to the quarterfinals of a World Cup. Yes, it's at youth level, but it's a World Cup at the end of the day, and that sort of experience, traveling extremely very far, the team chemistry, and just being in a global showpiece.
Yeah, that was an amazing experience. You know, when you're young, you don't really take in what's going on, like until like you look back and you're like, wow, like this was really cool, you know, to be a part of. Of course, like being young and being put in that position and given that opportunity to represent your country is an honor. And it was great to make it all the way up to the quarterfinals. I remember we played against Germany. I think we lost like 3-1. I had an assist that game. Cam scored. And it was great. I mean, obviously it was disappointing that we lost, but it was cool to get that far in the tournament. And, you know, our head coach, Brian Rosenfeld, he was amazing. You know, he was really tough on us. He really wanted to get the best out of us at all times. And he didn't believe in staying in your comfort zone. He really like poked at us. And, you know, that's what brought the best out of us, you know. So that experience within itself was amazing. And I knew from then, I was like, I want to definitely do something like this again, play another World Cup. So it was cool.
Yeah. And to be honest,
it's kind of dark now. It got dark like so quickly.
I know, right? Look how dark it's gotten, and compared to my complexion. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it is one of those things.
Yes.
But yeah, it does look lighter.
There
Wow,
you go.
look at you.
Now it's okay. I mean, it's better than before.
It is better than before. Yeah, good timing actually. Yeah, it's getting really, really dark. But yeah, like you went on and had a couple of appearances for the senior team as well for Canada, and most Jamaicans that follow the game would know that yourself, obviously Jamaican parents, and Khadija Buchanan, Jamaican parents as well. I just wanted to know what the interaction was like between you two. Did you guys talk about Jamaica a lot, the food, the music, anything?
Yeah, I mean, that it would have been amazing for her to actually come to Jamaica, but I mean, it was a little too late.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we would always jam. We would always be playing. I remember there was one camp that we had. I think it was back in like 2014. I think.
Yeah.
And it was in China, and they roomed us together, and they never roomed us together ever again because we were so loud. We were bumping Jamaica too. It was like, hey, just dancing like crazy. They're like, nah, we're not doing this. We can't have Tiffany and Khadija together ever again. So that was the last time we roomed together. I think I went to a couple more camps after that, but I found it funny though, you know, because they just couldn't handle all of the loud vibes. But she really appreciates the Jamaican culture. I mean, that's her background. And yeah, we would talk music and dance and stuff and just vibe out. So she's an amazing girl, one of my really good friends.
And I guess it's no surprise to you that she's one of the best players in the world and getting a lot of accolades and stuff.
Yeah. I remember her very first camp. I think it was in Vancouver. And I was like, who is this girl? Like, where has she been? When I heard that she played for Brands United, I think it was. Yeah. And I was like, wow. I'm like, this girl's going to go really far. She's amazing. Canada's lucky to have her. I knew from then, like, she's something different, you know? Yeah. But yeah, a huge amount of talent. She's very humble. That's what I love about her the most. You know, she knows she's a good player, but off the field, she treats you, off and on the field, she treats you with respect, you know? So.
Yeah, and like, how did you feel when that opportunity came? Jamaica came calling, and you're making your debut against Chile at the National Stadium that has produced so much great memories. Yeah,
I mean, Busby and I go back because I remember he actually reached out to me, I think it was 2015, and he wanted to know if I was interested in playing for Jamaica, and I actually was a little bit, but at the time, I just signed a contract to go play in Germany. I think it was 2014. And I was still amongst the pool of players with Canada, so I wasn't ready to make the transition right away. Because I knew also, too, if I did that, I wouldn't be able to go back. So I told him, I said, you know what? We had actually a discussion about the future plans for Jamaica. And he's like, you know, Tiff, we're not there right now, but in a couple of years, this is our plan. You know, and I'd like to still stay in contact. So we stayed in contact. And then when Jamaica qualified for the World Cup, he emailed me again and was like, hey, Tiff, I mean, I know we had a conversation a couple years ago, but I'm coming back for the second time.
Yeah, so there you go.
So I said, you know what? Right now's the time. And I really believe that, you know, it's so important that, like, if a player can bring something on a squad and be appreciated and valued for, like, as a person and a player, I think that's so important. So I felt at that time in my career that playing for Jamaica would have bettered me and also bettered the team as well too. I could bring my experience, I could bring my flair, and I could just be myself, you know. And you know, Canada, my experience with Canada was amazing, but after a while, I was just on the pool of players, just waiting to get called up, you know. And I was still in contact with the coaching staff as well too, and you know, I was still getting certain benefits from them, but I had to make a tough decision, and you know, I'm happy that I did. And my first cap playing for Chile was amazing. There was quite a process though, getting cleared, getting my citizenship, and then my passport and all that stuff. But I was really relieved once I got that clearance and I stepped on the pitch.
And here you are. Here you are, 2.5 years later, more caps to your name, goals for Jamaica. So it's going well, you would say.
Yes, absolutely.
And another World Cup experience to your name as well for Jamaica. And, you know, you spoke earlier about the new players that you're going to see in the squad. I just wanted to know about some of the players that you have played with. You've seen Bunny doing some fantastic things in Europe, some of the girls over in America as well, in terms of the NWSL. So you feel, you know, things are starting to click, and 2023 we could do this all again?
Yes, I think it's so important now that our players are playing professionally, you know, and I think there's just so much growth. Like if you stick with the team and you know, you're used to, maybe you might be used to something else, but you push past your comfort zone and you're in a completely different environment, that's when you're going to grow the most. And I think it's great that we have players now playing the NWSL, also playing abroad as well too. Khadija did she's been doing amazing, you know. Her first year she did well, but like her second year skyrocketed. See, this is what I think should happen. I think there should be more 2-year contracts given to females, because the first year is literally a developmental year and also adjusting to a team. And it's not easy, I'll tell you that right now. You know, so I love to watch how Khadija literally has grown throughout the past 2 years with Bordeaux. And, you know, I think if we can have more opportunities like that as females to be signing 2-year deals like that, we might not feel as much pressure. But okay, you know what? I'm growing gradually, not like, oh, you have to be here right away. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's been a pleasure to play with her. And even Shanielu Asher, she's an amazing player. Yeah. Very, very talented and very in tune with herself as well too. I love having like conversations with her off the field because they're just so real. You know?
And, genuine.
Sky's the limit for her. You know, she still has many more years in her career, in my opinion. It's a pleasure playing with her. You know, of course Marlo as well too. Even playing against Marlo in this league has been so fun. We actually have like there's a video, I have to send it to you.
Yeah, do that.
Where I took a nice touch past the player and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna go. And she came out of nowhere. She stole the ball from me, then I stole the ball back from her. We were laughing about it. I'm like, hey. I'll send that to you though. It was funny.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, and then Rana, Swavey. I mean, she just won a championship, and that's amazing. Yeah, there's so many players on our squad, Shayna Matthews, you know, that are hard workers and very talented, you know. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, you basically named out the squad, basically, in a sense, you know. And like you said, the transition from college or high school to the pro leagues, that's important. I guess the question would be to some players, you know, some may have pro contracts open and some they have college. So which one do you go with? Jody Brown decided to go college route. Do you think it should be on a player by player basis if you go to college first, or just go straight to pro? Really?
You know, I think if a player is talented, that's great. But I think education is so important because there's life after football, you know, and I think to get your education out of the way, just do that, and then you could feel free. Like, that's what I did. I spent 4 years at Ohio State. I'm like, all right, that's cool. If I want to take my master's, I'll do it later on. You know, I at least have an undergraduate degree, and I could put all of my focus into playing professional football. It's literally 4 years. There's no rush. If anything, it would be better to stay in school, because as you can see, women's soccer, like, it's increasing, it's getting better. And also financially, it's improving as well too. So I would think like a player like Jody, yes, she has a ton of talent, but overseas is not running anywhere. Like, she can always go play overseas. Also the NWSL, that's always going to be an option for her as well too. So I would just say, if I had any advice for players thinking about going pro, get your schooling out of the way, and then play pro for like 10, 12, 13, 14 years if you want.
Well said. That really, sometimes we forget about patience and working hard and those elements, but it just comes to show over time that things will fall into place if you're putting in the work. So I really appreciate that, honestly. It makes a lot of sense for all aspects of life, whether you're a professional athlete or not. It really bodes for everybody, really. So essentially, from your perspective, are you the type of person, well, you played in Germany, Israel, Hungary, amongst other places. Are you a person that gets homesick? Do you want to play in North America in the future, in your 30s? Have you thought about what future might be like for you? Life after soccer?
I think this year was literally the hardest year of my entire career in terms of being homesick, because I'm used to always going home Christmas break. Now it's really tough. I had to make a game time decision. It's like, all right, well, Tiff, if you go home for 2 weeks, you're gonna literally you'll miss. First of all, you'll miss Christmas, because we finished our last game, I think, was like on the 16th or so. So that would mean that I would have to quarantine for 2 weeks, and my mom is like extra paranoid, which makes sense. But she wouldn't have been able to, like, maybe I would have stayed like in the basement, but she wouldn't want any contact with me, and I wouldn't be able to be with my family, my nephew, my sister. So I was like, it's not worth it, And then I would have had to come back here a week later. So I'm like, I have to make the tough decision on staying here. But I actually had a great time. I hosted Christmas. I had a couple people over, and I made it a fun time. So definitely I always miss home, but I always think of, all right, I'm so blessed to have this talent, that has made me be able to travel the world. And it's like, you got to make a sacrifice as a professional athlete. And there's FaceTime, there's Skype, there's ways to still stay connected with your family and your friends. And anytime I'm having a bad day or anything, I'll reach out to someone, let them know. I have to push past it, but I know that this is rare, and I'm not going to have this opportunity for a lifetime. So it's like, I always remind myself, Tiff, a couple more years, like, you got this, like, because afterwards you might have to work at a desk, or probably not me, because I like to stay active, so I'm gonna be coaching. I'll miss it if I just give up because I'm homesick. So I have to remind myself that playing in North America would be cool again. And if that opportunity opens up to play back in the NWSL, I would take it for sure. But I just fell in love with being overseas. I don't know. I think technically and tactically, it has helped my game for sure, because in North America, you see a lot of like physical presence. Players are super fit, super fast and stuff. But like in Europe, they focus a lot more on like technique and tactical sense. Of course, that's a part of the game in America, but I think they really, really focus hardcore on that, like in Europe. So I really enjoyed my time here. And, I'm a player who I like to always compete, and I don't want to ever get comfortable with a situation. So, here I just feel like I've been constantly evolving and learning. So, I'm not desperate to go play in North America, but yes, if an opportunity opened up, for sure.
Fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense. And you spoke earlier about life after football. Have you thought about that as well? After we get to 2023, is it going to be a career in music? Is it going to be back to school? What are you thinking?
Yeah, so, I mean, definitely my main goal is to go to another World Cup with Team Jamaica, And I think after that, I'm looking into coaching. I would love. I mean, my dream job would be to go coach at the Ohio State University. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's an obvious reason why.
Yeah, understood.
People don't know. I went there for 4 years and I left as a leading goal scorer. So I'm really proud of myself for that. I went through a lot of growing during that time, and I would just love to get back to that university, and definitely share my experiences and my knowledge, with that university. So I think that's what's next for me. Definitely, I also realized that I'm pretty good with like voice work. So I can't reveal yet, but I was asked to do some voice work for a very well-known radio station. Okay, and I did. And I was like, wow, I'm actually, I don't know, like this could be a career too. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I would love to also get into that. Maybe, you know, I have a radio personality, so that's another option. Definitely will probably still keep dropping music here and there. Like I don't want to do that like, full time. It's more so a hobby, and I know I do have talent there. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for those individuals that might not be on social media, yeah, Tiffany is really good at what she does in music. I don't know if she's willing to do a 10-second demo for us, but where did all of this inspiration come from? Was it like a family member or just, you know, doing what you love over the past couple of years?
Well, growing up, I used to just randomly rap. I used to love listening to like Missy Elliott, the Brat. Like there's so many different rappers that I really respected. And I would write back in like the fourth, fifth grade, and it was not very good, but I still just kept doing it anyways. And I didn't really start taking it seriously until I went to university. And I made like a few songs there. I actually created a song called Buckeyes Put Your Hands Up. So it's like a Ohio State theme song. And I made a video. It's on YouTube actually. You just have to write that in. Buckeyes Put Your Hands Up. Tiff. And that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of, yeah. So from then I just started like talking about my career and my experiences, the ups and the downs. You know, I'm big on creating like motivational music. You know, and I think it's just important to just be honest with what you're going through. It's very therapeutic as well too. There was a song I made called "For the Love of the Game," and I was actually injured while I made it. There was like a stream of injuries that I was going through, and I was just fed up. And those lyrics are probably the most powerful lyrics I've ever made. You could definitely check that out as well too on Spotify, iTunes, For the Love of the Game, Tiff. But the chorus in that, I could spit that. But also too, I have a new song called "Go Off," so maybe I can give you two little things.
Oh, I got a treat. Nice.
Yeah, so For the Love of the Game, the chorus is very powerful. So this is it. I didn't do it for the money, nah. I didn't do it for the fame. I didn't do it for the glory, nah. I did it for the love of the game. You know, that's pretty. That came from the heart, because you know, as a women footballer, we just don't get paid a lot, and I personally play because I love the game. You know, it's not about dollars for me. Of course, like in the long run, I have to think about saving and stuff. But there's been so many sacrifices that I've made.
There's bills to pay. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes. But I spoke in that song about like the injury that I was going through and that I'm going to overcome it. And you know, there's a lot of really powerful lyrics. So definitely check that one out. I have another song called "Go Off" by Tiff. That one's a cool workout song, though. I would highly recommend if you're in the gym, check that one out.
Okay.
I don't know if I should give a teaser.
Yeah, you can send me the link afterwards. No problem at all.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's probably better that I do that.
Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, I really think you should consider either the YouTube or some sort of motivational speaking on your social media platforms. People would be really encouraged. So when all of this quiets down and you have a day to yourself, no training, it's something to consider.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for your time, Tiffany. I really, really appreciate it. Is there anything you'd like to say to any little girl out there, or anyone really that wants to play the game or just needs some encouragement at this time right now? It's been difficult the past year and a half, but we keep going. We keep going.
Yeah, I would, to any little girl who wants to play, or anyone just in general who's going through a tough time, I would say acknowledge how you're feeling, write it down. Because for me, sometimes I'll journal through and go through my emotions, and I'll look back and I'll be like, ooh, like I said this, and then it feels so good to look back at something and then see where you are a couple weeks or months after, like, and the process of getting through whatever you're going through, you know. I think it's so important too to just believe in yourself. You know, if you think that you can achieve something, doesn't matter what anyone else tells you. I think you have to just stick with the process, and some things take time. Like there are even certain things that I'm very aware of within myself, but I know it's going to be a process to get there and to improve, you know. And I have faith in myself, and at the end of the day, that's the most powerful thing that you can have: faith in yourself that you can be better. And you know, maybe you might just need one person to also believe in you, to just be by your side, you know. So I think, yeah, if I could give any advice, just believe in yourself and just push through whatever you're going through. Write it down, reflect upon it. Always reach out to someone, because sometimes some people think that they're by themselves and they're going through so much. No, there's a lot of people in this world that are going through a lot, and some things are way worse. So it's always important to just share how you're feeling with a person or with people to just feel better.
It's real deep. That's, you basically hit the nail on the head right there. You know, sometimes we feel that we judge our opinion of ourselves based on how other people treat us, but make yourself happy first. Some people feel that you need somebody to make yourself happy, but if you make yourself happy, everything should fall into place. But sometimes we forget the little things. So your encouragement, I really hope it has inspired somebody. So if you get like 500 DMs on Instagram, it's them.
It's probably because of you, you know. Separation here, you know, we should talk more often.
Yeah, because a lot of people want to reach out to you. Thanks very much, Tiffany. Really, really appreciate your time. And for those tuning in, thank you for watching as well. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more content. Tiffany has been great, and I'll definitely provide the links to all of those different Spotify elements that she's been talking about. We'll be in touch. Take care, guys.